Welcome to our YouTube channel, New Hope Revival Ministry. We are here today with one of our worship leaders. I was going to introduce him, but I think he can do that better. So tell us, what's your name?
So my name is Adrien Misigaro. I'm one of the worship leaders in New Hope and the BelPres. So I'm, very happy to be a part of this community. I've been in different churches, but this is the first time that I've been in a church that is, walking this fast to have a multicultural, to have people from all over the world to just change the world. So I'm so excited. And I'm a married man, have a wife. Sorry, I forgot my ring. I think I was.
Yeah.
I
Can give you mine.
No, I think my finger. I don't know. For this quarantine, it's got me going bigger, I guess. So
Yeah.
my finger getting bigger than my ring. So I have a wife and kids, and I'm Christian.
Yeah.
Believe in God and Jesus
Yeah.
is my savior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So for people who don't know you, I know you already said your name, but I know you because you're famous. But for people, watching us today and who don't know who you are, where you're from, and how long
Yeah.
have you been in this country, what can you say?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was born in Congo. So living in that country, so we've been going all over the places. Sometimes you don't even know where to what to say. But I was born in Congo. Moved to Rwanda, lived in Burundi. So I moved in the U.S. in 2008. So I've been living a couple number of years. I lived in Texas, but I moved in Washington last year.
Okay.
So I've been living here for the past 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how long have you, when did you start writing songs and, just, worshiping
Yeah.
with the microphone on stage?
Yeah, I joined the choir when I was 10. That's when I, just Sunday school, and I started doing, Sunday music. But at that time, I was just like everybody, going to choir. That was just a part of our life. But at age of 15, that's when I started writing my own songs. And I remember, I was living in Burundi at the time.
Yeah.
So I recorded my first song, took it to the radio station, and they didn't take it because that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
So starting from that age, but since then, I've been writing songs since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say that it's something that happened when you were 15? Is it like,
I would say it started when I was 10.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know how to really, put a song together.
Mm-hmm.
But at age of 15, I wrote a song for the choir, and the choir started singing. Since then,
yeah.
yeah,
Wow. So, someone would say it's your passion, right?
it is.
Okay.
It is. It is my
Okay.
calling. Yes.
Okay, good. And I know that you've wrote so many songs and, all over the world that, I don't think that there's any country where you would go, especially having people from, the east part of Africa, that people wouldn't know you or your songs, and you have won awards. And
Yeah.
so just take us into the process of how you write songs. Where does it come from? Where does your inspiration come from?
Yeah. That's a good question. Knowing God, and just knowing Jesus, it's a life, that you go in and you find yourself in a position where you are, being speaking to God, and so there's no process that I can say that I usually do this and this.
Yeah.
There's a many ways. Some people have, different ways, but for me, I usually get my inspiration, based on the conversation that I'm having with the person, based on Bible,
Yeah.
based on worshiping, or based on a song. So I will hear the song, and the song just blessed me, and I just get the inspiration from there. But I would say, for me, if a song blessed my life, if I'm walking, or driving in a place, and I just feel the Spirit of God, and have a theme, that's what I usually start to write a song. So starting, like the first song I wrote when I was 15,
Yeah.
I remember the pastor was speaking in a church, and then, people were so blessed at that moment, and then I see how people were just, shouting and jumping. I'm like, how is it gonna look when we get to heaven?
Wow.
I'll see how people were so excited, and that's when I wrote my first song that time, just talking about, how happy we were in the church.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine when we get to heaven, how is it gonna look? And I wrote a song based on that, and that song blessed people at that time. But my process, it is just like that. I usually just get inspired by a message
Yeah.
or a Bible verses, or so it all depends to the moment or the season we're in. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. And actually, I would love to listen to that. That's the first song that you wrote, the one that was, rejected on the
Yeah,
radio.
it's a choir song. It's a long time ago.
Hey,
I don't think if I remember.
They probably wish they took your song now that you're,
Yeah.
you are where you are. And I know that it's by the grace of God, but I also know that there's work that is put in and sacrifice and all that. Can you share with us a little bit? I know that there are so many people who want to write songs and want to get to a place where you are.
Yeah.
But can you share us with challenges that you face as a worship leader?
Yeah. So when I started, I wasn't writing songs just as a worship leader. So I would just write a song that blessed me. Like I would focus on me. Like, how is this
That's
song
really good.
blessing me? So I wasn't focusing on other people
Yeah.
mostly. So the challenge is that as a worship leader, when you know you'll be standing in a church and every Sunday, and people are going through so much.
Yes.
So when you're working on a song and you're choosing a song to sing, and you're not just thinking about you, but you're thinking about other people as well. Like, what kind of song am I going to pick this Sunday? What the situation are we on, right now? Like, let's say the season we're in, like people are facing, justice issue, racial
Yeah.
and reconciliation. Like, what song that resonates with these people?
Yeah.
So to work in that process to decide what song you're gonna pick,
Yeah.
and that is a challenge. But at the same time, when you've been called by God and the Spirit is leading you,
Yes.
sometimes you just let the Spirit lead. Because if it's leading me toward a song and somebody else he's talking to somebody else
Yeah.
that I don't know,
Yeah.
and you speak your life, you speak what you're feeling, what God is telling you, and you will be able to communicate with others easily. So the challenge is mostly people comes into gospel music or in a church seeking for fame.
Wow.
And that is a big problem.
Yeah.
So for me, I try not to go into music because I want to be famous.
Yes.
But you have to calling. Because if you seek for fame,
Yeah.
you can end up in a place that you don't know. But for people out there who are looking to have a career in a gospel music.
Yeah.
So it's not a place where you're gonna have fame. It's not a place where you're gonna have money.
Yeah.
Financially,
Yeah.
it's a place where you're gonna suffer and be able to just let God depend on God.
Yeah.
So-
What do you mean by, sorry to interrupt, but what do you mean by suffer?
The suffer that I'm saying it's when God called you,
Yeah.
you kind of forget about yourself. You're not looking into good looking stuff. You're not looking for, but you put yourself in. You're gonna be fasting.
Yeah.
You're gonna be praying every day.
Yeah.
So that means your normal life is going to be different. It's not a place where you're gonna just have fun. Other musicians, they once they start working on music, they have money, they have all this stuff, but in the ministry or in just Christian life, it's not as fun as people think.
Wow. That's
So,
really good.
so don't expect it to have all these things that you think you're gonna be famous. So,
yeah.
so when God called you, that's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your process.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's very powerful. And it's not a place where to look for fame.
Yes.
I guess that's for me that really
Yes.
it speaks to me. It's not a ministry. It's not a place for fame.
Yes.
And I remember somebody said about I'm not a worship leader, but I love worship, especially like authentic worship. Someone was saying that a song, that you have wrote a song that is from God when it can withstand time. Basically, like 20 years from now, people are still singing that song.
Yes.
So as a worship leader, what can you tell to people who are writing songs to ensure that their songs are not just for like temporary, use, but
Yes.
there are songs that are going to withstand time?
Yeah, that I can guarantee because, like I said, you have to know Jesus.
Yes.
You have to know what you're singing about, who you're talking about. Because I remember, when you read the Bible, like in John chapter 4, I think it's chapter 4, 23, when Jesus was having a conversation about the Samaritan woman,
Yeah.
and he said, the time is going to come when the true worshippers are going to worship, and
The
in truth and
spirit.
spirit.
Yes.
So when you and they were talking about some people who worship things that they don't know. But when you know who you're worshiping,
Yes.
and you know what you're talking about, he's going to lead you. He's going to help you with that.
Yeah.
And most people try to use their own knowledge and try to use their own ideas. But
Yeah.
sometimes you have to know what you're going to, who you're singing for, who you're
Yes.
leading, because he's the one that picks the kind of song that is
Yeah.
going viral. It's not
That's really
like
good.
I've wrote so many songs. There's some songs that I love so much, but those songs are not even there. They're
Yeah.
not as viral as other songs are.
Yeah.
And so when I go to studio, I record a song. I pray that the process is the same.
Yeah.
I got inspired, but God is the only one that pushed the song.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
good.
because some of the songs that went viral that I didn't even know it was going to be as as viral as it is.
Yeah.
Because I just speak. Depends on the situation that I'm in,
Yeah.
and that became is my song. It's like there's a song that I wrote like last year that says Nzagerayo
Yeah.
and Heri Musozi
Yeah.
Nzamuka.
Yeah. I love it.
That was me singing my song.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about anybody
So you
else.
wanted to encourage yourself.
I
in
want
the
to encourage
Lord,
myself
like
because
David
that's what I
said,
usually, if I'm facing anything, the way I fight, it's just to sing. And I wrote that song based on me because I remember recording that song while crying because that's how I was just speaking to myself.
Yeah.
I was in a situation when I feel like, where can I find, hope? How can I do this?
Yeah.
And I put that song out there.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how people react on the song. I'm like, does everybody have the same problem that I have? So that's how God works.
Wow.
They think that you're thinking the situation that you're going through,
Yes.
somebody else is going through the same.
Yeah.
So the part of back to your question, how can the song be known? How can can you write a song that other people can sing?
Yeah.
That I don't have an answer to that because I'm not the one that pushes the song.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that. I think there is a level of humility, like acknowledging the one that you're singing for. And I think what you're saying is sing as if you are singing for the audience of one.
Yes.
And the other point that I got from what you were saying is write songs that are going to speak to you first.
Yes.
Songs that you can actually listen to you first. So
Yes.
that whether people buy it or not, or whether people sing it or not, it won't affect you.
Yes.
Because you are singing that to yourself. And I think it reminds me of Psalms where it says that David encouraged himself in the Lord.
Yes.
So I really like that. I really like that.
And you know who you're singing for.
Yes.
Because we see you don't know the kind of message that you're giving and know God who you're going to sing
Yeah.
for. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. And I guess this is not my last question, but where do you see your songs like in 5 years? When you dream about? I'm pretty sure you dream about your calling, where you want your song to reach. In 5 years, can you tell us where do you see yourself in your calling?
Yeah, in like I say, in this ministry that we do, I don't plan for that. I just depend on God.
Yes.
Like
that's really
I
good.
pray like, well, God, where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
So if this is just this is not a normal career that you
Yeah.
decide, oh, I am going to do this in 5 years,
Yeah.
and you plan. So sometimes you plan and God just changed. Because
Yeah.
last year I didn't know I was going to be in this place. And so what I know is like, God, I give myself to you.
Yes.
And just lead me where you are.
That's really
Because
good.
I don't know, next year I may be in China,
Yeah.
maybe singing some
In Chinese?
Some Chinese, exactly.
Why not?
So in this kind of calling, not just in the
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
but in the ministry itself, we work for somebody.
Yeah.
We depend on him. He's the one that makes my schedule. So
Yeah.
every morning when I wake up and pray,
Yeah.
I'm like, God, lead me. I just make some plans for me.
Yeah.
But I expect God, especially growing up in the Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
We sometimes we did when I moved here.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of some of my fellow
Yeah.
worship leaders.
Yeah.
I told them like, how can you plan for things that's going to happen next 6 months?
Yeah.
So because we'll be planning on Christmas for
Yeah.
like starting in June.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I grew up in a Pentecostal where
Yeah.
it's like, Holy Spirit is going to lead me this morning. I don't know what I'm going to go, but
Yeah.
So I depend on God. So
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to be, but I know His plan are good for me.
Yeah, that's good. I really like that, and I hope this blesses somebody, because what I'm hearing is that your worship is a response to God. So you respond to the one who called you to sing.
Yes.
So you don't design your own plan. You respond to
Yes.
Him, and I like that. And I guess that's where we all should be as Christians,
Yeah.
just being a response to the one who called us.
Yes.
So my last question would be. Where can we find your songs? Because I know that I've bought some on Apple Music, iTunes. Where can we have, like, what platform can we access your songs?
Yeah. Just before that question, like back to the last question.
Yeah.
And I hope my music changes as many people as I'm
good.
praying.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that I plan on. I hope that God can take this music to change all the world, so people can just
Amen.
receive God.
Yeah.
So where they can get my music, like you said, it's on all digital platform, like iTunes, Spotify. Everywhere you can find my music. Just write my name, Adrien Misigaro.
Yeah.
You find everything in there, and or you can go on YouTube.
Yeah.
And just like and subscribe. You can find everything in there too.
Oh yeah, you're on YouTube as
I'm on
well.
YouTube
You have
as
a
well.
channel.
Yes.
So everybody, I encourage you to go and subscribe, so that we can encourage people that are called, people who sacrifice other things that they could be doing to just uplift us and encourage us. Because your songs, I telling you, like.
Yes.
I've bought them some on iTunes, and they have blessed me. So if you have been blessed, go and subscribe. You can purchase. They're like 99 cents,
Yes.
which is not a lot. So I guess I would just let you just pray for people who are called into that, or people who haven't discovered their calling, or people who still have songs and they can't, they're still hiding them, or they don't feel like they're qualified. Can you just pray and encourage them?
And on that, like we have some younger generation that is feel calling. They start doing gospel music.
Yeah.
But because especially in our community, we don't support them that much.
Yeah.
Because we don't think they think it's like it's a gospel music. It's free. God is gonna bless them.
Yeah.
And they end up going and using other music so that they can seek that financially support.
Yeah.
Because they get to the point where they use their own money and they feel like, so if you can support gospel music and artists who are passing that message, so the message can go as far as possible.
Absolutely.
So I'll pray for you and I'll pray for you. Yeah.
All right.
Father God, we humble ourselves this morning, and thanks for Noella to take this time and just speak to you, God. So we pray so that you can take this message.
Yes.
And somebody out there who's just like, wondering what can I do from that today, or so you can just lead them in a way that you want, God. I pray for the younger generation who are willing to just do the worship music and just come and praise you, God, so you can just hold their hand and just take them where you want, God. I know you're a powerful God. I know where you get moved from. I know how you worked with me. So God, make them understand. Those kids who are thinking, or a young generation who are thinking, like, how can I be able to do a gospel music?
Yeah.
Just let them know that in you, God, we have peace.
Yes.
In you, God, we have faith. And you are God who gave us the power to do this.
Yes.
So remind them that the kind of music we do, it's not just a music, but it is just a language that we're going to speak in heaven.
Yes.
That's the only thing that we're going to be doing. We're going to be worshiping you, God, forever.
Yeah.
So remind everybody that is our mission.
Yeah.
We need to praise you. We need to put you up, God.
Yeah.
So I pray for everyone who've been touched by our music, who've been touched by what we do, so God, they can just experience your presence.
Yes.
They can just feel the Spirit, and they can just, if they're sick, they can hear God.
Yeah.
If they're going through the tough situation, so they can just feel your presence in their lives,
Lord.
God. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And powerful words.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Yeah. God
Bye.
bless you too.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time with probably a different guest, but stay tuned and bless you guys. Bye.